This is a story called The Little Monsters at Christmas, Chapter 12. The kids decorate a few Christmas trees in the community. It's almost Christmas time, and if there's one thing the little monsters love, Kicker especially, is Christmas trees. They've all decorated each other's trees and the schools, the ice rinks and the bowling alleys, and now they want to decorate more. Everyone knows them, and everyone knows that they are a bunch of pranksters. They also know that they have hearts of gold and would never hurt anyone ever. They'd let someone hurt them before they'd hurt anyone else. The kids have been invited to help decorate the tree in the local shopping centre. Leading up to it, they constantly go to the joke shop to buy joke sweets and other joke stuff. On the day, they're really excited and they can't wait to get there. When they arrived, they saw the little bully and his friends and their hearts sank. However, a shoplifter came out of one of the shops with his arms full of stolen goods and knocked a heavily pregnant woman over. The little bully and his friends went over to help her. She was crying and she was in labour, and naturally she was worried about her unborn baby. Staff called an ambulance and the little bully and his friends stayed with her until it arrived. When the ambulance arrived, the paramedics put the lady on a trolley and put her in the ambulance. While she was in the ambulance, her contractions got stronger and stronger, and she unexpectedly gave birth to two healthy twin girls. It turned out that one was hiding behind the other, which is why only one baby showed up on all her scans. The lady called the twins Ellie and Holly. Once the lady and the twins had gone to the hospital, everyone, including the little bully and his friends, got to work decorating the tree. Of course, the gang couldn't resist putting joke sweets on. They all sang Christmas songs, and just for fun, the gang were allowed to sing their version of certain songs. Everyone had a ball, and when they were ready to switch on the tree lights, the staff made an announcement, and all the customers gathered round. The lights came on, and everyone cheered and clapped, and the tree looked beautiful. Later that day, after the kids had had their lunch, one of the shopkeepers approached them and invited them to help decorate the huge tree in her shop. The kids couldn't wait, and they went straight into the shop to start decorating the tree. They sang carols and had lots of fun. They kept pinching other people's bums and flicking their ears, etc., much to everyone's amusement. When they'd finished decorating that tree, another shopkeeper asked them if they'd like to help him and his staff decorate the tree in their store. And of course they did. Again, whilst they were decorating the tree, they kept pinching everyone's bums and flicking their ears. Of course, no one took offence, they just laughed, and some of them did the same to the kids. Just as the kids had finished decorating that tree and were about to go home, another shopkeeper asked them if they'd like to go back the next day and help him and his staff decorate the tree in their shop. The next day, when they went back to the shopping centre, they helped the man and his staff decorate the tree in their shop. When they'd finished, several more shopkeepers asked them if they'd like to decorate their trees, and of course they said yeah. That day they helped to decorate about 4 Christmas trees, and they had lots of fun doing so. When they took a break at lunchtime, several more shopkeepers approached them and asked them if they'd like to decorate their trees, and of course they agreed. However, during that lunchtime, the kids went around playing tricks on people. They put whoopee cushions on some of the seats and fart gas in some people's drinks. They only did this to people that knew them so that people wouldn't complain and get them into trouble. After lunch they decorated a few more trees, and several more shopkeepers asked them if they'd like to help decorate their trees, and they said yes. That day they decorated 5 trees. The following day they all did some carol singing for a bit, and then they helped decorate a tree in one of the shops. When they'd finished, they went to the next shop to help staff decorate their tree. When they'd finished decorating that tree, they took a break for lunch. During lunch they played tricks on people. They put fart gas in people's drinks, whoopee cushions on people's seats, and gave out their fart and burp sweets. Of course everyone knew what they were up to, but no one said anything to them. After lunch they went and decorated quite a few more Christmas trees. That day when they'd finished, a few more shopkeepers approached them and asked them if they'd like to help them and their staff decorate their trees. Of course they said yeah. The next day they went back to the shopping centre and helped decorate at least 4 more trees. By the time they'd finished, they'd helped decorate all the trees in the shop. As luck would have it, just before the kids went home, the manager of another shopping centre approached them and asked them if they'd like to help decorate their tree in their lobby, and they agreed. The next day they helped decorate the main tree, and then they were asked by a couple of shopkeepers if they'd like to help decorate their trees, and they said yeah. That day, just before the kids went home, they were asked by a few more shopkeepers if they'd like to help decorate their trees, and they all said yes. The next day they went back to the second shopping centre and helped decorate the trees in some of the shops. Whilst they were doing so, they couldn't help playing tricks on people. They went up behind people and pinched their bums, clipped their ears and pulled their hair. Of course everyone knew that they were just having a bit of fun, so no one said anything to them. At lunchtime the kids were approached by a few more shopkeepers wanting them to help decorate their trees, and they agreed. That day they must have helped decorate at least 5 more trees, and they'd had a ball doing so. However, they weren't finished yet because they'd promised to help decorate a few more trees. One of the shops was Smith's Toy Shop, and the manager allowed them to choose any toy they wanted. Everyone thought they'd choose the most expensive toy in the store, so the staff secretly followed them around. However, the kids didn't choose the most expensive toys in the store, they chose the cheapest ones. They did look at expensive stuff and the staff saw them. They took everything aside, and before the kids left to go home, they gave them the toys. The kids couldn't believe it, and they couldn't have been more grateful if they tried. The end. Thank you for watching. Bye. Mwah.